नमस्कार। मेरा नाम मयंक डोगरा है और आज एक टॉपिक पे बात करने वाले हैं एंड दैट टॉपिक इज़ पोस्ट ट्रॉमेटिक स्ट्रेस डिसऑर्डर, डिप्रेशन, स्ट्रेस, एंजाइटी, जिससे हमारा जो यूथ है, जो हमारी यंग जनरेशन है, वो इम्पैक्ट हो रही है, इफ़ेक्ट हो रहा है लोगों पे, लोगों के माइंडसेट पे, मेंटल हेल्थ इफ़ेक्ट कर रही है। तो I thought to start a video talk show where I invite some of the people from a different backgrounds, from different trades, who actually struggled and fight with all these depression, stress, anxiety, traumatic disorders and all that. So I think maybe these journeys, these real life people experiences who can help us, learning a lot things to be stand strong, how to be strong when we are actually low. So with their experience, I think we have a lot to learn. And with this, I request my first guest on this video show, on this video talk. She is my principal. She is founder principal of SLS DAV Public School, Mausam Vihar, Miss Vandana Kapoor ji. She is the lady, as far as I observed, is the most hardworking lady I have ever met. She never take leaves from work. She works so hard. She stays at school. I am watching her. I grown up watching her from my UKG to 12th class journey, and then after 10 years I joined school for 4 years as a teacher. Like, I saw her standing so strong everywhere, motivating us as a teacher, motivating us as a student, guiding us in all the ways. So, she is the perfect idol to discuss this matter today, and I hope uh, with her blessings and with her knowledge, experience, we all get encouraged and we all get strength to fight against depression, stress, anxiety, traumatic, problems, difficulties in life. Let's connect with ma'am. Let's connect, let's call her and see what she is having in her experience treasure.
And finally, we are connected with you. So, how are you and how's your health?
I'm absolutely fine.
And ma'am, as you know that this situation of lockdown, the situation we are facing, which is unimagined and unexpected. So, what exactly you think like this impacts our life and how it impacts you, how it impacts education system, and what exactly you are going through?
When 19th March, prior to that also, there were few examinations which were being conducted, and um, we made the children sit with a distancing formula, but we expected that the examinations will take place. But gradually on 19th, it was all of a sudden that we had to shut down. So by late evening, we finished our work. But gradually only we realized that this is a pandemic and it's a problem which comes once in a century. So we learned to cope up gradually, very slowly. Once we had understood that we have to work online, then we started our teachers getting trained in Microsoft Teams. We took the help of Adobe. And as far as working is concerned, it is far more successful than we expected because the students are already quite tech savvy. The only little hesitation was with the small children, but we took the help of parents since parents also were not going initially to their workplaces. Some of them are not going even now, but gradually the adaptation had been smooth. So the children did not suffer. We could start the session in time. Overall, definitely, this is a sea change. And I think the working of schools is never going to be the same as you or I have studied. It's now going to be a blended kind of learning. This is the new normal of today.
Yes. So, ma'am, finally, we are connected for one talk and one subject which we are taking today. That is, uh, as we know that currently one of our alumni, a very young alumni, got into depression and commit a suicide.
Aditi.
Before that, we also did
Very
know,
true.
know the highlighted news of an actor from Bollywood who's very famous and who's very talented. He is also one of the DAVN, and he also committed suicide
Very
as
true.
per the news. So, ma'am, what exactly this situation is? The subject is so important, the subject is so crucial, and I just want to know why these young guys, why these young people attempting such a heart wrenching act. So, what exactly you think the depression, stress, and anxiety, pressure, what exactly it is?
We all face anxiety, stress, and depression every now and then. Whenever we are under heavy pressure, we have to meet the deadlines. If we are having paucity of time and the workload is very much, so we are stressed out. We work longer hours. And for anxiety, once again, we are in a situation we are not able to cope up. So that creates anxiety in us. Depression is a little more serious problem because there we are really into deep troubles. Either we are guilty for something, or we are under pressure due to some work problem, or we are under some family problem, or somewhere some problem in a social setup. And that depression state is actually which has to be taken care of because anxiety, it comes and goes. uh, Stress, it comes and goes. They are situational. Sometimes we are in a situation when we get anxiety, sometimes we are overstressed. But if we are having depression pangs, and that too for longer hours, longer days, and for months, and we are not sharing our state of mind with anyone, then it really, really can be fatal. Because then we sometimes get the suicidal tendencies, which is not at all good for the human life. So it's very important to have good friends, good colleagues, good family members. If you do not have anyone, talk to your parents. It's very important. Suicide is a very, very extreme state of mind. I'm not a psychologist, I'm an educationist, but since I had been in company of children for so long, and still fortunately I am in your company and the little kids, so I keep watching. It's very essential to talk to somebody your heart. If you are able to open up your mind, definitely you get some isolation, you get some suggestions, you open up your vent. When your vent is not open, simmering keeps going inside you, and that once again your valve is busted out, irritated, and the person was not in a situation, mental framework to talk to his parents, to his friends. Something somewhere goes wrong, which should be avoided. Absolutely.
Ma'am, I grown up watching you doing so hard work. I grown up watching you. I started my journey in DAV from UKG. So I actually grown up watching you doing hard work, never taking leave from school, from your work. So I know that it is very difficult to travel this journey. So I just want to know that what exactly and how difficult your journey, and from that Gita Colony branch, from that Gita Colony school to Mausam Vihar. So what exactly you faced, and obviously that journey is difficult, so you faced a lot of things in your way. So how you come up strong, how you actually cope up with all these difficulties. So please tell us your experience regarding this.
You're very right that whenever you are starting an institution, and that too when I was really very young, and I was in a very rosy, cushiony job, and I was really enjoying my job in my previous school. Then this new challenge which I took up, I was not knowing exactly that how problematic the things can be. But when you jump in the sea, then only you realize that how deep the water is. So any institution, not only our institution, any institution when has to be raised, it has to be raised like a baby. And for that you have to face teething problems. You are short of money, you don't have much funds. DAV schools are not funded from anywhere. We have to work hard on it, and its own money, with its own money you have to nurture. So with a very small amount of money, and with lot of formalities, lot of procedures, lot of departments to reckon to, it was really difficult throughout. But definitely I'm not the kind of person to give up. It's not in my nature. Maybe it is my upbringing that my parents, my father, my mother have given me, that I accept the challenges. Those challenges definitely traumatized me. It's not that I am a human being. So I had been traumatized many a times, and I felt the pressure, and I also to a certain extent suffered lot of anxiety, lot of stress, and to a certain extent depression also. But there was a zeal in me, there was a zest, and then gradually as we started our school, uh, there was a little team which was shaping up. So fortunately for our good luck, for the good luck of our school, that and there was a backup of our management also. DAV College Managing Committee runs more than 900 schools, colleges, university. So that strong bond with the management and the help of very wonderful team, we were earning very less amount, but we used to work very hard throughout the day. And that spirit in founder team, not only founder principal, in the founder string, founder team still exists. So I'm very proud, and I feel that I was very lucky that I got good team, good students whom I could feel proud on, and on whom I could depend on. That was very important. And that faith never dished me up. So that's why the school came up to this laurel stage, and now we are going to complete 30 years in another couple of months.
Great. So, ma'am, you shared one very important point in your last answer, which is like upbringing. So I'm coming on this point, upbringing. Like today, what you think, which is different from upbringing of your generation and upbringing of current generation? What do you think? Like this is the difference between, your parent and today's parent.
You know, in when we were children, in our childhood, the life was simple. We used to say simple living and high thinking. But gradually, number one, we got technologically very sound. So that is a basic difference, that in our time we were not technology based. Now everything is technology based. Today I'm talking to you. That is also thanks to technology. And then at that time, the life was simple. Nowadays, life has become quite complicated. It's quite little, I would say, more show off. But that also depends on people to people, person to person, that how much you want to indulge into things. Some people are still there who value education, who value social setup, social relationships, friendships, and some people are totally into that commercial world. So it depends once again. And the parents who are themselves, what kind of life they are leading, that kind of upbringing only they can give to their children. If the children, if the parents are having family values, they are living in a joint family, even if they are not living in a joint family, in their unique setup also, how much value based family relations they are able to successfully manage, that depends. That because it's children, they are in the school for 6 to 7 hours maximum. If you count the commuting time, also 8 hours. But barring that, rest of the time from 15 to 18 hours, they are in the family background. Either they are with mother or parents or grandparents. So it depends what kindly family setup the parents are having, that kind of value system they can inculcate in their children. Today also there are families who maintain value system like anything. Their family bondings are very, very strong. But in some families, there are quite a huge gaps. Some children I have seen, they don't talk to their fathers. So that communication gap sometimes mars the personality or mars the thinking also of a child.
So, ma'am, how important or what you suggest, the nuclear family or a joint family? Like, uh, to be very honest, like we used to live in a joint family, a big family where we have so many things, with our cousins to do and sharing bonds with them. But nowadays, a culture is completely shifted to nuclear family. So, what do you think? What do you suggest? Like, which one is better and why it is better to be in a joint family than a nuclear family?
Definitely, family bonds are very important. But suppose somebody is in a job or some business where they have to live separately, then they have to see that the family values are inculcated in the kids. They should keep on talking to their grandparents, they should keep on talking to their uncle and aunts. Even if they are not staying together, they should have good family friends. If you have good family friends and sometimes you visit them and sometimes they visit you, the children learn how to be in a group, how to socialize, how to have emotional stability. That's emotional stability works wonders. If the children do not know, if you keep on fulfilling the demands of children, suppose parents are in nuclear family and just to make up that time, suppose both of them are working, they keep on fulfilling the demands of the children, those children do not learn to compromise. Those children, they are not in the habit of caring and sharing. So this caring and sharing in family, even if you are a nuclear family, is very important, so that the child never goes into isolation. One should always be in some company, mentally, emotionally, socially, even virtually. Nowadays, you have so much of advancement in technology. WhatsApp calls are there. You can do any kind of virtual call. So many via medias are available. So this has to be inculcated in the children, that you have to keep in proximity. You have to keep in a excellent bonding with your grandparents, both from mother's side and father's side. And also you keep on talking to your cousins. Sometimes you go for outings. This pandemic timing is exceptionally unusual, but otherwise we make it a point that we socialize. We may celebrate our birthdays. We give birthday gifts. We give at least minimum a birthday greetings to our loved ones. That it makes good bondings, very strong bondings, which are of great and immense value.
So, ma'am, as you use this virtuality or technology era, we are into an era of technology, and which is completely right. And I agree with you that if we use this technology, if we use this virtual mediums to connect each other, this source can, fill the gap. It fills the gap between,
You're right.
bondings. If we have long distance, like my brother is in Australia right now and I'm in India, so we can connect through this technology. So, ma'am, I recently read somewhere that reading books increase your mental ability than being into this gadgets and all that. So nowadays, what I think is like, people who there's a saying that books are your very good friend, but now people are more into social media and more into Facebook, more into this Instagram, putting their photographs and all that. So what do you think, which one is better, like what do you suggest?
You can take me as a old school of thoughts, but definitely I prefer book reading, and that's what I was telling you also, that even if you don't have physically a good collection of books, you go to Kindle, you find out a good title and read stories. If you are not a person who can read two voluminous
Mhm.
editions of any book, you can read stories, you can read very good articles. Social media to an extent is good, but overworking and overdoing of anything can harm you. You become mentally unstable. You are not able to distinguish between what you require and what you should do. So you have to strike a balance. Go to Instagram, go to Facebook, I don't mind, but that should be constructive, and that also one has to see where actually what kind of news you are reading there, what kind of pictures you are uploading. You know, that also has to be very, very judicious. One has to be judicious in uploading pics. One has to be judicious in what you are reading, what you are going through, what you are posting. What your post can influence anyone. So you have to be doubly sure that you are posting such articles which are of value to someone. So that's very important. And if you have good collection of books, or you can borrow books from somewhere for reading, it's excellent. There is no substitute to book reading, because this is the best knowledge bank. No, nothing can substitute the book knowledge which is there in books. And read newspaper. You have digital newspapers these days. You can go through articles. Even if you want to read it on your mobile phone or on your laptop, it's perfectly all right.
Okay, ma'am, the last thing which we want to discuss with you, and which I think you are the only person who can guide us very well. That we all have failures in our life. We all have. Sometimes we actually get so low after getting that failure. So my question is that how you also shared this thing that at times you get traumatic, you get low in your journey. So what exactly you do? That is something what exactly you personally think that you do, and you become and you overcomes this situation, the failure, the depression, and you face failure in what sense, in how you face failure exactly, the question is.
If you measure the quantum, there is no big failure, because ultimately I was very fortunate to achieve whatever I aspired for and for whatever I worked on. So I cannot say I had been blessed by God. You should say that whatever I touched and whatever I worked upon, I got good friends. I got extremely wonderful family support, extremely wonderful my team support, and extremely excellent friends. So my lows, everyone has got lows, but that lows were not able to distract me, because I kept on sharing and caring with others, and I got solutions. I studied a lot. I was an ardent reader. I was not knowing the rules and regulations on the day one when I became principal, but I studied a lot. I understood the system, and I went deep into that. And then I found out solutions. I met people. And when you work really, really hard and you are approaching people, people understand that you are a sincere person. And in my opinion, to a sincere person, everyone helps. There are 5 to 10% who discourage you, but it's up to you whether you want to get discouraged or not. If you are not able to cope up with the things, sit down, do a little bit of meditation, ponder upon, do lot of introspection, that why the things are going wrong and how I can come up with the solutions. Who are the people who can give solutions to me, who can be of help to me? And then approach the people. They will not help you once, twice, 10 times, 100 times. But if you have strong will, you will be able to persuade people, you will be able to make them work for you. And that's what has worked for me throughout my life. I think I have never got discouraged to that extent that I should sit down. I never sat up. I lost my parents, and I was so deeply attached. That was the biggest blow I count in my entire life. I never thought of, it was not my thinking that I can ever be without my parents. But when they left for their heavenly abode, that was a very big blow. But gradually, slowly, I coped up myself. I got busy in my work. I did more of labor. I did lot of hard work. When I was traumatized, I worked more, and that became to my rescue. The people knew that I am a very genuine person. I don't tell lies. I am not manipulative, and that honesty paid. So, for everyone, I will say that your honesty is your biggest reward. And if you are honest, nobody ever will ditch you. Even somebody tries to, will go sideways once they understand that you are a very, very genuine person, and you are not going to harm anyone. You just mean business. You have to mean business. If you have to get successful, you have to mean business. Yeah. I was telling you that I had lot of problems when I started the school, and through the life you get problems. You have your low and you have your highs. But when you are having your lows, You have to be in company with your loved ones. You have to be in company of your family, your friends, your colleagues. They are a great help. If you are having good family members who are always there to support you emotionally, you have good family friends, that works. If you have good colleagues who are always by your side, it works. And if you have good friends, that friendship also matters a lot. Sometimes your friends do such a wonderful job for you that which sometimes other members are not able to take up for the things for you. So it's very, very crucial and important to have good friends in life who are by you in every thick and thin. That's there.
Ma'am, you said one thing which actually, brings goosebumps in me, which is like whenever you feel low, you always work hard. And I personally feels whenever I work hard, I always feel stress free because whenever I feel low, I just go to my gym. I just took my gloves on and I punch my bag badly. So that is what my way of shredding all the stress out. So
That's
that
really
was
wonderful.
that was brilliant suggestion from your side. And ma'am, finally summing up everything, I just want to know the five things, five solutions for all the youth who are watching this video. What you want to suggest, what you want to give solution to the youth in five points, that how they can be strong and never give up attitude they can bring.
First of all, we should never give up. There
I,
will always,
I'm
there is
sorry,
no
I'm
life.
interrupting. I will say, all of you who are watching, this is something which is Dadi ka nuskha, because she is watching a lot of generations, and I think she's on a stage of being Dadi. So this will be a Dadi ka nuskha for all of you.
I'm already a dadi and nani both.
Yeah, exactly. So this could be a Dadi ka nuskha for overcoming your stress, depression, and everything. So, ma'am, please continue with your points.
Yeah, sure. Number one, no, you should never give up in life. There is no life which is bed of roses. You have to struggle, and the more you struggle, the more wonderful person you emerge. So emerging as a successful person, you have to go through lot of struggles, lot of low phases, but that low phases should taken as a challenge, and you should have lot of empathy for people around you. Never be revengeful. Even if somebody has not helped you, take it as that this is also a phase of life, that there are people who will not help you. So never become revengeful for anyone who maybe उनकी कोई मजबूरी होगी कि वो आपकी हेल्प नहीं कर पाए होंगे. आपको ऐसा लेना चाहिए. Always remain positive. Don't let negative things come near you, because negative things, negative thoughts, negative actions only bring you depression and bring bad relations in your life. If you are positive, negative relations will never ever be cultivated in your life. This positivity should always empower the negativity in you. Make lot of friends, good friends. Anyone, आपके भाई बहन भी आपके फ्रेंड्स हो सकते हैं, और आपके साथ जो पढ़ते रहे हैं, बचपन की दोस्ती बहुत स्ट्रांग होती है.
Yes.
वो फ्रेंडशिप बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, विच ऑलवेज, कई बार होता है आप कॉलेज में बहुत अच्छे फ्रेंड्स बनाते हैं, बट जब आप लाइफ में सेटल हो जाते हैं, यू आर वर्किंग इन योर स्पीयर्स गेट चेंज, योर जॉब प्रोफाइल गेट चेंज, so that company is no longer with you. It's wonderful if you are able to retain that. Retain your friends to the maximum. Do lot of self study. आपका जो नॉलेज बैंक है, वो अपडेटेड होते रहना चाहिए. इट्स नॉट दैट कि आपने 4 किताबें स्कूल जाते हुए या कॉलेज जाते हुए पढ़ ली एंड दैट्स सफिशिएंट. नो, you should always update yourself. Read lot of newspaper, listen to lot of news bulletins, read new things, new articles, new dimensions of thinking come to you. Those dimensions make your life vivacious, energetic, and wonderful. So do lots and lots of reading in any form, through Kindle, through different websites. Anyway, whichever way you want to enhance your knowledge, and age is no limit.
Exactly.
You can see from our generation that when we were studying and when we were working also, when our school started, the first computer I was struggling to buy for was around 1.5 lakhs. And nowadays, you see, the technology has gone so wide, and we are able to fetch computers in just 1/4 rate. Good configuration computers.
Yeah.
So, age is no bar. Upgrade yourself in every respect. और मैं ये कहना चाहूंगी, एक बहुत सुंदर लाइनें मैं आज पढ़ रही थी तो मैंने नोट कर ली, मैं जरूर बोलना चाहूंगी. इंसान ख्वाहिशों से बंधा एक परिंदा है. इंसान ख्वाहिशों से बंधा एक परिंदा है, उम्मीदों से ही बंधा, उम्मीदों से ही बंधा, लेकिन उम्मीदों पर ही जिंदा है.
Wow.
So beautiful line. And this is the, I think, the entire life in these 2 lines.
Exactly.
So that's how the life should be.
Very, very beautiful line, ma'am. Very motivating, very encouraging. And even I am following what you are saying, that sometimes, you know, we need to do something which we actually like, we want to do, but we somehow never attempt it. So I personally like sketching and all that. Thanks to again DAV and Anita ma'am, who always, you know, put us in some situation to draw and all these things. So we do all these things, and now when we are sitting back at home, we do this sketching stuff, that SUPW work and all that, just to pass some time when we feel bad. So I think one should do such creative things also in life. Obviously, you said like reading is very good, enhancing knowledge and everything. This works. This actually works with me also. So I can suggest everyone whosoever watching this can go through these 5 points. They are actually going to change your life. And someone you know, who is a mentor of my mentors, and I am again a mentor of further generation. So I can say what ma'am is suggesting is completely with full of experience. So ma'am, a very you know, inspiring and encouraging talk with you till now, and I got a lot to learn from this talk. Uh, Ma'am, do you have the last thing which I want to ask, you? Do you have any plans for this education society to come up with some solution where we can grow upcoming generation mentally strong? Do you have any plans, like anything apart from that academics and all that? Can you suggest some solution which we can inculcate in our schools? I can inculcate in my academy. I am running an academy. I have so many kids coming in my academy. In your school or schools around the India. So can we adapt or can we inculcate anything, any method which help us to grow kids mentally strong?
You know, what I feel is the key word is be connected. You have to establish that connect, because during pandemic we are helpless. Otherwise, physical activities are the great stress busters. They are the great educators. Physical activities in any form are catalyst. They are the healers. But due to pandemic, whatever situation has erupted, I would say that keep connected to each other, keep talking to each other, console each other, help each other. That is the sermon of the time, because we'll be able to overcome this situation only by keeping connected to each other. That's the key mantra right now. That's what I think is.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your words and experience. And I personally follow you a lot, and I think after watching this video, many lives can be saved. Many people get these points in their life. So thank you so much talking to us, and I wish you a very good health and be safe, be quarantined, stay home, and stay healthy. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
God bless you and all my progeny, all my progeny.
Thank
Lots of
you.
blessings to all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.